want to welcome everybody, friends, neighbors, other members of ACORN, especially from Ottawa South, and members of the press. I really appreciate you coming down here to talk and watch what we're doing. We feel we have an important message to get out to people, and that message is that renters matter. In Ottawa, we've discovered that there's a big discrepancy in the way renters are treated versus owners. And that's one reason why ACORN is involved here today. In the past, they have discovered that there have been huge levels of maintenance problems here in Ottawa. And what's happened in the past is when people tried to get repairs done, they were blown off. And after repeated attempts, a lot of them gave up. Some of them tried to get through to bylaw. Sometimes bylaw responded, sometimes not. So it was very patchy. So when ACORN got involved and got people organized, we started to use the rental tribunal system and brought many cases forward there. And it was through that process that we discovered this was a huge problem all across Ottawa, not just a few cranks who couldn't get things done, not just from Ottawa South, but actually it was all over Ottawa. And surprisingly, it wasn't just one or two small landlords, it was actually the big landlords that were the problem. And for that reason, we think that we have to do more than just get people to go through the rental tribunal to try and get repairs done. It actually points out to a big problem in Ottawa, and that problem has to do with the laws that we have here. And as I pointed out, owners have some protection when something goes wrong with their houses. And if they want to get repairs done, they can also withhold money. That's not the case with renters. Once you've worked your money over, it doesn't matter. They're entitled to that money. You can't withhold money. If you do that, you are in line for eviction. So you do not have the protection that owners have. And this is unfair. And there are thousands of renters here in Ottawa who are forced to face those very conditions. There are people living in unhealthy housing here, with mold, with lice, with bugs, lots and lots of cockroaches and bed bugs. And they can't move, and because they don't have the money, and they can't resolve the situation financially because they can't by law. They are still forced to pay for these properties whether or not those repairs are done. So what we're here for, protesting, is we want changes to those laws. We want healthy homes for all, not just for owners. We believe renters deserve that.
Yes, we do.
Now the type of things that we're looking for support, and we're looking for support for two main reasons. We believe that instead of using the rental tribunal system, which incidentally poor people have to pay for to use, it does strike me as odd that poor have to pay for justice. Instead of using that process, what we should have are laws that affect the behavior of the landlords. Right now, do you realize with all of the repairs and all of the mold and all of the bugs, there hasn't been one landlord fined in Ottawa for any incident. And at the same time, there are no rules telling us when repairs can be done or need to be done. In other words, you can have landlords, waiting months, and in some cases we've had people that have had to wait for years to get repairs done. Imagine having to pay month after month for a place where you can't even get your repairs done. Again, the renter is trapped. He doesn't have any support, and we need that support. We need critical timelines for repairs. Unless there are missing parts, you should be able to get those repairs done a minimum 30 days, or rather a maximum 30 days. I'm pretty sure you could get them done in a lot less time than that if you bothered to try. But you see, it's also true here too. We feel that landlords have been encouraged in this behavior because of the less amount of laws, they've noticed there are no consequences to not doing repairs. So in actual fact, the lack of laws has contributed to the problem. In towns that have strong property tax and property maintenance laws, you do not see the same levels of problems that you see here in Ottawa. So we do need to put those laws into place because we do need to get after bad landlords. And it's the bad landlords that we want to have rectified, to have them finally fall into place and treat people properly.
Well done.
Thank you. So, in a few minutes, I think we'll maybe do a few cheers, and then perhaps we will march in front of the office of Timber Creek. That's okay with you?
Yes.
Okay.
I need that. Can you hear me? My name is George Brown. I'm the ACORN's lawyer, and privileged to be ACORN's lawyer. I've been doing that for the last couple of years. Please, if you need to get by, go ahead. Jill at ACORN, the membership asked me to just speak briefly about our housing justice program. We supervise, in fact, I just had a meeting yesterday with Professor Wiseman at the law school with about 10 law students who have been working with members of ACORN here in Vanier, mostly here in Vanier, to document the problems that you've been so clearly articulated, and we can see on these pictures. These are not one-offs. These are problems that tenants experience throughout this city and throughout this development here, and they have been for the last 3 years that I've been involved. The law students work with the tenants, document the cases, and they go to the tribunal. But you know what? That takes a lot of work, and in particular for the tenants, they have to take time off work, often time that they cannot afford. And as said, they go to the tribunal. We do all right at the tribunal. I'm not here to criticize the tribunal. But then the order comes, and then it's wait and wait and wait. It shouldn't be that hard. In Toronto, they figured it out. They have got a bylaw with timelines, and landlords are held to account. And that's what we're asking for here. This Healthy Homes platform also reminds us that there's also 165,000 people on the waiting list for affordable housing. So that's a big problem in this city as well, in this province, in this country as well. So this platform is about the city taking action, and it's about the province taking action. In particular, we want the province to pass Bill 39 on inclusionary housing. But today we're focused on what the city can do. We're tired of governments passing the buck. You know, oh, we don't have enough money. And finally, this is not just about private rental housing. Timber Creek, big landlord, I just saw in the paper, they're bragging now they're about to go on a big buying spree across the country and spend hundreds of millions of dollars to buy other developments. That's nice. But they should be fixing up the projects that they have now, first of all.
Yes! You're here.
And this is also, though, about Ottawa community housing. Half the files that our law students are dealing with now are OCH. Yes, I know they're trying hard, but we're tired of the excuses that we just don't have enough money. They have responsibilities under the Residential Tenancies Act, just like Timber Creek, and we expect them to be held accountable.
Yes.
So please, if you haven't done so already, sign the Ottawa ACORN Healthy Homes platform. If you don't have it, we'll get you a copy. And ask your counselor, demand that your counselor sign this document as well. Okay, so that's, I think, all we have to say for now. And thank you for coming out and participating. And this has got to stop. Mold, windows that don't work, heat being turned off in the winter, it goes on and on and on, and it's unacceptable. Go ACORN.
Like this one right here. We've encountered a lot of issues. The constant changing of one of the problems is the concentration of management in here as well. That's another big issue because there's nothing holding them responsible. They have their own mandate, and we're caught in that. We're caught in the middle of that issue. Someone that is on ODSP like myself, I have nowhere to go. I have no money. I have to depend on trust, and at times it's very weak in here, and it's very frustrating. We have the constant issue of bed bugs in here. Every week you see that they said they had, last month they hired a new pest control person, but every time they come and spray in here, they spray that one room and then they'll go to the other rooms, and that you can see that prevalent every Tuesday and Thursday when they come in here.
Good, how are you?
The issue of every couple months we have meetings with them. They keep saying the same things over and over, and no remedies. It's got to stop. The thing is, also the bylaw, we got to get tougher with landlords in this city. I've heard lots of stories about landlords, about things about. I wasn't going to expect you to speak, so I'm not really prepared. But the issue of constant bed bugs invasion, constant of lack of maintenance, even in Ottawa community housing. We had a good example of that last year when the elevator broke down at one of the Briere care units. People in wheelchairs being stuck on the upper floors. They couldn't get out for weeks. That's the kind of thing that we have to put a stop to. Shame. So,
Yes.
so this is what we're all about. We're fighting for that, and that's much all I have to say. Thank you very much.
Give me a C. C. Give me an O. O. Give me an R. R. Give me an N. N. What does it spell?
Acorn!
What does it spell?
Acorn!
What does it spell?
Acorn!
There have been a certain level of complaints with the services that are provided by them.
Maybe they'll support the campaign. That was a joke.